Milo, I'm sorry. What is your deal? Oh, my cat just wants to get in my lap. Come here. Come here.
I don't blame him. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, joining us here on episode 59 of Cup of Joe's. I am your host, Joe Brown, joined by my best friend, Joe Perry. And Joe, it's been an exciting couple of weeks. We have some fun things to talk about today, but did you hear that Nintendo is releasing a new Nintendo Switch?
I actually did.
It's not a new Nintendo Switch like, with the new 2DS and new 3DS and, or Super Nintendo Switch. There's a lot of naming conventions that Nintendo goes through. It's like a new space Nintendo Switch because it's still just a Nintendo Switch, not a Switch 2, not a Switch Pro, but it's new.
The one that people thought, they were like, this is it. 4K, baby. It's here.
Yes. So, um, a lot of people were let down by the reveal of it. I have my base Switch that I've had since day one. I pretty much never play it undocked, so I really don't care too much, especially with this new upgrade where it's mainly about being undocked and like having the better screen or whatever. But that's not the point we're here to talk about, Joe. Because if you want to get the new Switch, you can get it. If you like playing it in undocked, it's technically better for you or whatever. It's more expensive, but it's your money. You can give it to Nintendo. I found an article on Polygon written by Anna Diaz, and it's called "Nintendo, Stop Trying to Get Me to Play My Switch Outside. I don't care what your trailers say. It's not gonna happen." So let's just go through this because this is actually hilarious. So Anna Diaz at Pukachi on Twitter. So a really funny article that she writes here. So stick with me, Joe. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And if I sound different, everybody, sorry. We're trying to work out the kinks with some audio stuff. Hopefully, Joe and I sound pretty good here. But if it is kind of wonky, I apologize for that. So again, the article, Nintendo, stop trying to get me to play my Switch outside, which is a great headline.
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo's making a new Switch, one with a bigger OLED screen, OLED. I'm not sure if it's OLED or OLED screen. They gave it a trailer on Tuesday showing beautiful people taking their console outside and playing it on the go. Who does this? The advertisement looks like every other promo we've seen from the Switch since it's launched in 2017. It's filled with a diverse cast of smiling faces, all enjoying the console while upbeat music plays, as a good trailer should. It emphasizes the features that are unique to the Nintendo Switch and make it worth spending $350 MSRP. Basically, it's portable. In the new trailer, people take it outside and bring the console along with them wherever they go in their interesting daily lives. At one point, excuse me, we see a young redheaded individual playing the new Nintendo Switch while lounging on a pool chair outside. They look focused and enthralled by the contents of the game. Later on, we see a family playing chess on a table outside using the Switch. While watching, I was shocked that once again, Nintendo was pushing this idea that the Nintendo Switch is enjoyable to play outdoors. And then she posts a bunch of photos of people enjoying their Switch outside from like their advertisements. Like a whole group of like 6 teenagers all playing their Switches at a skate park is one of the photos here.
And you know what I do? You know what I do? When I'm like, I'm going to go to the skate park just to play my Nintendo Switch. If Tony Hawk Pro Skater is on there, I'm at the skate park doing kickflips while switching, bro.
Absolutely. So, don't get me wrong, bringing the Switch around is good and dandy. I, for one, love taking mine on road trips and while flying. However, I don't think the Switch will ever feel good to play outside in a park. Its screen is not bright enough to play outside, and even if you crank up the brightness and can see the screen, it'll burn through your battery. If you're okay with, say, playing a bright game out under the sunshine, well, then there's still the anxiety of bringing an expensive, somewhat fickle $300 console outside. Let's face it, the Nintendo Switch can't be battered around like a Game Boy Advance could. the console gets hot if it's directly in the sun, which is just hilarious to think about. Also, I'm just generally worried about it getting stolen if I take it around town. Look, it's not that I expect the advertising to be accurate or realistic. I get that much of the role of marketing is to generate hype, regardless of the feasibility of scenarios. Still, after seeing this video, and after 4 years since the console launched, I just couldn't help but feel that Nintendo should stop pushing the idea. Nintendo has been advertising the Switch as an outdoors console with it has quotation marks around outdoors console since its first hype trailer in 2017. In that, we see a person take it to play it at a park at sunrise. We see their friends play it on a basketball court at night, interestingly. In 2019, the trailer for the Switch Lite pushed the play it outside even further with an entire group of cool kids playing their Switches at a bright and sunny skate park, which is what we said earlier. And in theory, that's great. Maybe there are outdoorsy, well-adjusted people that take their Nintendo Switch out to the end of the Santa Monica Pier or the bottom of the Grand Canyon. That's not me. I'm more than content with playing it handheld while snuggled up in my bed. What an awesome article from Anna Diaz here. Really just speaking how everybody feels. When you watch those Switch commercials, Joe, it's like nobody plays their Switch like this.
Yeah, no one does. I think there's like an old version, or not an old version, an original, like, what is it? An original commercial, I guess trailer for the Switch. I think you remember a girl is playing like Mario in her apartment and sees like a rooftop party like in the next building over, and they all see her playing her Switch and they wave her over, and she brings her Switch with her, and they all start playing like Mario together, and it's just like, bro, it's like, yeah, what?
Oh gosh,
this ain't how it works.
It is so good. It just, that I just, as we were passing by, because we were looking for our other topics we were going to be discussing here on the podcast today, Joe. I saw that like on the side articles, like it's right next to Mass Effect Legendary Edition mod puts butt shots back into the game. And right and right next to it is Nintendo. Stop trying to get me to play my Switch outside. It's just a perfect article there. And again, shout outs to @Pokachi and Diaz. Great fun there, Joe.
Great fun. All right, let's dig into one of these topics that we got going on, Mr. Brown.
Okay, so let's do the biggest one that you and we actually were watching, the State of Play, Sony State of Play for Deathloop. They showed off, 9 minutes of gameplay.
Yes.
And we watched that together, and we both got pretty excited about this. I think this is going to be Bethesda's last Sony exclusive, because Bethesda's obviously in partnership with Microsoft at this point.
That is correct.
But Deathloop looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks really fun. For me, when I saw the original like showing of it, I was like, this game looks fun. Because they kind of, when they first showed it, I think they said they're going to take parts of like Dishonored and a little bit of like Prey, and they're kind of molding it into a game, like where it kind of works together like that, which sounds really fun. And they really kind of pulled it off with the gameplay that they showed us. There is aspects of Dishonored. There is some aspects of Prey in it as well, but the game still looks totally its own. The only thing I will say that a lot of the power animations look very, very similar to Dishonored's power animations. But the game looks fun, and I think what I caught was that you're always talking to one of the other characters that is trying to kill you, not like the actual player that's playing the character, but like the NPC itself. Oh, I guess you can't really say it's an NPC.
The storyline version of that character, Juliana.
Yeah, Juliana. So like the main character that you mostly play in Juliana are constantly talking to each other, even though it seems like Juliana is a character that you were supposed to hunt down at one point in the game.
Right, and it seems like we saw at the end of that video, Joe. It seems like they have a past connection, Colt and Juliana, where they previously lovers or family relatives or something like that. That's going to be an interesting storyline to follow in the game. That
will be interesting. And another thing that it showed us in the gameplay, or told us, is that either another player or the AI will invade your game to hunt you down as Juliana. So you will be hunted down by Juliana while you're also trying to complete your mission. And essentially, what's going to end up happening is every day, the same day loops over and over again, and you're supposed to kill 7 people before the day ends. And it's basically you trying to learn from the past and continue to move forward through these loops. Um, and as you move forward through the loops, more and more of the story is unfolded as you continue to complete your tasks.
Well, so I will
Um,
say quickly here on the website, on Polygon's website, where we watched the video and and read the get caught up on everything. It says the point of Deathloop is to fail. Wait, hold on, sorry. You play as Colt, an assassin out to kill 8 targets before a single day is through. The point of Deathloop is to fail, gain knowledge of your target's whereabouts and behaviors, and start again on a new day with a new time loop. Deathloop's game director described it as a murder puzzle. So I think it's really interesting, I guess a very interesting concept that we've been interested in for the last couple of years, right? I feel like it was a couple of years ago where we first saw Deathloop shown off with that idea, and I do wonder how it works out. Like, can you just play the single player without another person controlling Juliana, or is that really integral where you're gonna want to do that? Like, Joe, you're playing as Colt and you're just living your best life, killing people, and then I queue up into your instance of Deathloop and I try to kill you, and like, does that mess with the storyline stuff? I think there's some interesting directions that this type of gameplay could go with.
yeah, I think you're right. Um, so that'll be an interesting thing to see how it plays out. Another cool thing that they showed was a lot of the powers that Cole has. Specifically, one that me and Joe Brown like saw and kind of both had a reaction to was there's this ability that you unlock because the game, I believe the gameplay was later on into the game. It is an ability that if you are killed, you can rewind 20 seconds back into your loop, but apparently when you do that, it doesn't rewind everybody in the loop. It just rewinds you. So everybody you've killed and like gone through has it stays that way. And everybody acknowledges that they've killed you, so you come back. Um, you just come back 20 seconds before, so you haven't been killed. Which I thought was a very interesting thing to allow you to progress and use that ability to kind of get the jump on people and kind of figure stuff out. Joe Brown, what did you necessarily think of that ability?
So I think the ability to let you, like, quote unquote restart or like have a checkpoint, kind of, because they said that the ability unlocked, it lets you have 2 of those restarts essentially from dying before you had to restart the whole day over. I think that ability is nice, but just for me it was like really jarring to see the character. Like, it took me out of the game. Like, it felt like too much of a game mechanic instead of an in-world mechanic, like, of the Deathloop world. For so the scene, if anyone has watched the 9-minute video they showed off on Deathloop, he's going to like the front entrance of a building or something, and he already kills, like, let's say there's 7 guards out there, he kills 3 of them, and then he dies. Colt dies, and you kind of warp back, like, your positioning to the front of that stage, and then you come back. And when you get there, the guards are like, "Hey, we just killed you," like, super confused. So I don't know, it kind of took me out of my element where I would have imagined, or I thought it would have made more sense thematically for the whole world to reset, because you see that a lot, especially in like indie games that deal with time and stuff, is like you're slowly learning from your previous mistakes. So like, oh, okay, if you know the henchman's gonna turn right, left, and then like walk right or something like that, and you died that last time because you didn't know that, now you have that information to get past them the next time, you know what I mean? But this
Yeah,
time it's kind of like, from watching that video, and essentially is what he did. You kind of just go like guns out until you die, and then you come back 10 seconds later and then finish off the rest of the guards that were in that scene, instead of having to actually adjust your strategy because you died the last time from your last strategy. You get what I'm saying? So that was just like a jarring like sequence to see on my end. I don't think it's a bad thing. It was just like that's not what I was expecting to happen.
No, yeah, it's understandable. I kind of like stuff like that because it's a fun game mechanic in the sense of like how the characters in the game react to it. Like when that guy was like, "Oh, I thought we killed you," or "We killed you," I was like, "That's funny to me." Like I think that's funny. Like he acknowledges that he's like, "Oh wait, we killed you. What are you doing here again? We just did this." It was very entertaining, which I thought added a little character to the sequence, and it to me it seems fun, and it didn't really seem as jarring because I feel like that has either definitely been a part of. It's actually reminds me definitely of Bioshock. The what is it? What are they? When you die in Bioshock, it's like the vital chambers where
Yeah.
you just respawn and everything you did stays the same. So the character, when he respawns, the enemies that you were fighting will comment on it. They'll be like, "What?" Oh, or like say something, or even sometimes some of them will like run to the chamber that you spawn at after they kill you to see if they can get you again. At least I've had that happen to me once or twice,
Hmm.
and it's interesting. I just think it's an interesting mechanic. It's something fun. Um, but like they said in the trailer, or like they said in the gameplay, it's like a higher level power. So you might have to like have gone through the game a couple of times, and this is them maybe trying to spice it up because I can understand the sequence of like, oh, I died, I have to start again, like getting a little boring. Kind of like how in Joe Brown, have you ever played Hades?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I've watched some Hades speedruns. Yeah.
Yeah, so in Hades, like when you die, you start all the way to the beginning again. But they have this thing you can unlock called they're called death defiances where you can get up to three, and if you get killed, your health fills up halfway or like a third of the way, so you can keep doing what you're doing instead of having to restart. So it kind of thing makes me think of something similar to that, where it
Yeah.
doesn't like totally destroy all of your progress, but it gives you like the ability to like kind of like make up the time so you can do things a little more drastic that you would like to do instead of having to throw everything away.
And the
Um,
gameplay looks really cool. Like I know I haven't played the Dishonored games. My college roommate he did. He played 1 and 2 uh, while we were living together. So I watched him play, and I like the I would guess Arcane is kind of known for those dynamic choices of how you go about it because back in the Dishonored games you could be like, oh, I'm just rampaging, I'm killing everybody, or no, I'm every single kill I'm getting is going to be a stealth kill the whole game. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
the way that Deathloop has it here, where like you have to listen to footsteps, and sometimes the people walking around like they will give you key information that you wouldn't know if you were just guns blazing the whole time. You know what I mean? So I like that there's like kind of multiple avenues for you to get through that mission, which is like like I said earlier, like an Arcane staple at this point.
yeah. I believe Arcane's like first games are Axe Fatalis is their very first game, and then Dishonored was quick. It was after that game. So Dishonored is kind of like their whole thing, followed up by the remake of Prey,
Hmm.
and now Deathloop. So this is like their wheelhouse of things to do, um, which is fun. I like their style. That I always have fun playing their games. I've played all of the Dishonored games as well as their DLCs. I've played Prey. They're it's a fun time. Very fun time. So I'm excited. It comes out what, September 14th.
September 14th,
Um,
not too long.
2 months away. I'm looking forward to it. This year's going to be a busy year. With games coming, like we're reaching the end of the year. Oh my God, we're reaching the end of the year.
We're
Um,
halfway there. Bon Jovi would
yeah,
say.
as he would. New Jersey for life, baby.
Damn right.
Um, we're halfway through the year, and we're coming up on all these games that aren't coming out until the end of the year or near the end of the year, and it's going to be a busy end of the year.
I
Um,
know. Oh my god, I got Metroid, I got Pokemon, we got Halo, we got Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh man.
we've got Far Cry, we've got Dying Light, we've got
Oh,
something else that I can't remember at the moment. But
it's too much, Joe.
anyway,
It's too much.
it is too much, but we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. So moving into a different kind of topic that we haven't really discussed before. So everybody knows about, or most of the people know about how Marvel is coming out with all of these kind of like spin-off series. We've had, what is it, WandaVision? We've had
Loki.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We've had Loki, which I'm still watching. I haven't finished the latest episode. And next on their roster, which I totally missed this past December, and I just saw the second trailer they released today, is the What If series, which
Ooh.
looks really exciting. It's a fully animated series. I believe they brought back some of the cast from their original roles, um, but it's a totally different type of, well, I guess not different type, but it's like a total new type of thing that they're going to show off of the different what if the multiverse. We're bringing the multiverse into effect. I think we're going to do this that we can slide into Doctor Strange's next movie, which I believe has to deal with the multiverse, which will then also probably slide into the Spider-Man movie, which might be about the multiverse as well, which
Yeah.
has been rumored to be about the multiverse. And we're just gonna pop it off. We're all about multiverses. Because think, what is it? Thor, Love and what is it? Thor, Love and something, and
Oh yeah, I forget what it's called.
then the next Guardian of the Galaxy movie is gonna be like Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy or something, because Thor's gonna be in it a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
and Adam Warlock too is going to be in it, right?
I believe so. I believe you are right. Um, but yeah, so this new series comes out in August, which is also pretty great because Loki is about to end, I think, next week, and then we have like maybe 2-3 weeks, and then What If picks up August 11th. Um, what I think is going to happen is that every episode will, and I'm looking at the IMDb page, which I probably shouldn't, but it looks like every episode will be about a different what if universe.
Mm-hmm.
Um and oh my goodness, Joe Brown,
Yeah.
they were able to get Chadwick in here one last time for a
Oh,
role.
really?
I believe, yeah, it says Chadwick Boseman Star-Lord for unknown episodes. I
So
think they
that
got
was the
him in.
one I wanted to talk the most about, Joe, because so I know Marvel has done all the spin-off stuff, and like to be completely honest, I have Disney Plus. I watched I'm blanking the Star Wars, the Mandalorian. I watched the 2 seasons of the Mandalorian, but I haven't watched any of the Marvel side shows yet, like WandaVision or Loki or anything. So I'm not
Yeah.
like too. Obviously, I see every Marvel movie. Like I'm gonna go see Black Widow and all the future Marvel movies that come out. I watch every one of them, but I'm not too invested in the side stuff. But watching this what if thing, because I heard about it initially, months ago, and then we saw this trailer that had just come out the other day. Uh, I wasn't too interested because it's like, oh, it's the side stuff. I don't want to. I just want to know like the main canon world, and like that's what I'm more interested in. But then when it like led off with what if Guardians of the Galaxies was with Black Panther instead of, I should say Black Panther as Star Lord instead of the regular story, I was like, oh, now I'm in because that looked hilarious. The way that he was trying to be like, uh, why am I blanking on Star Lord during like Peter? No, what's his name?
Um, his
What's
name is Peter. Hold on, I gotta look it up.
I forget where he's trying to be like the real Star Lord and has like a funny, quirky, like jokey attitude and
Peter Quill.
Peter
Peter Quill.
Quill. Thank you. So where T'Challa's being like Peter Quill and is like trying to have a cool catchphrase for when the action starts and it just blows up in his face. I'm like, this is literally the Guardians of the Galaxy's humor that I love with Black Panther instead of Peter Quill, and it was just like such a cool concept. So maybe I will actually give this show a shot. Where at first I wasn't going to watch it.
You know what, Joe Brown? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that you would like. I feel like you would like the Loki show. It's very fun.
Okay.
It has our good boy Owen Wilson in it. Um,
Ooh.
he may. I don't know why. I love him in the role that he plays. He just. It's classic Owen Wilson. But the story for Loki is actually pretty cool. And WandaVision was also really fun. The first few episodes, it takes you a minute to get into it. But that one was fun. And the Winter Soldier I liked because I liked those two characters. I liked the Falcon and I liked Bucky. They were fun. And then it also kind of like laid the pathwork for what is it? It's called the I think they call him the agent or the black agent or something because he's the dude who they choose that the government chooses to be Captain America who ends up not being fit enough to be Captain America.
Oh,
He
I
doesn't
think I
have
saw memes about him on
yeah.
online.
He doesn't have the morality or the morals because he's a soldier
Right.
who's like in the modern day world and not everybody's perfect and like he just doesn't have what Steve Rogers had. While Sam, I think Wilson, I think that's the character's name.
Yep.
He falls in line more with it.
Excuse me.
Which is kind of like the whole thing of like Bucky and Sam's like whole dynamic is like, why'd you give the shield away? It wasn't the right thing to do. What? Pick it up yourself. Because it wasn't the right thing to do. It's America's shield. It's not mine. But that shield's got a legacy. Bucky, I don't know what you want me to tell you. It was just like
I don't know what you want from me, bud.
But it's like it was also really funny because you learn more about the characters, and I feel like you might like WandaVision. You'll like Loki from my aspect and not my aspect, but like my from my perspective. I feel like you would enjoy Loki because it's kind of just like slingshot kind of stuff, and they're only like six episodes long.
Oh, okay.
I believe they're not super long. I think WandaVision might have had 8, but even with WandaVision, was pretty fun because have you seen the Ant-Man movies?
Mm-hmm.
You know the FBI agent that's in the second Ant-Man movie?
I mean, I'd have to be refreshed on it. It's been so long, but I
It's
guess
like
I generally understand. Yeah.
it's the main FBI agent in the thing. He always shows up. Like he thinks that he thinks that what is it? The Paul Rudd's character is asking him to go out to dinner or something, and then he asks him about like close up magic and stuff. He's in the WandaVision show, and he's pretty fun in that show, as well as Darcy from Thor. I think her name's Darcy. Jane Foster's, I think, sister or friend in Thor.
Excuse me, sorry, I'm coughing. Yeah, I remember her now. I forget her name, the actress.
I don't remember the actress either. All I know is that she's marrying Andrew WK. That's all I know.
Yes, in real life. Yeah.
In real life.
Is it
but yeah,
Kat Dunning or something?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, Joe Brown, like I think you might enjoy him. You should give him a shot. Just try him out.
Listen,
maybe
Joe,
watch like
this is a great conversation. Maybe I will start. If you tell just quickly, which one should I start with? Is it WandaVision because that was first or whatever? Should I start with that one?
They're all like it doesn't matter. They're all in a different. They're all like they're separate things.
Maybe I'll watch one. But this conversation, we are really ignoring that there was like zombie Captain America and zombie Iron Man. And stuff. What was Joe? What was that?
Yeah, there's a storyline in the What If series of like the comics where everybody's a zombie, I think, except for Bucky. I think that's something like that happens. There is a comic of the What If series when everything kind of like it's the end of the world type-esque stuff. So I think there is I don't know much about it, but there is definitely a storyline that falls into that. And man, oh man, Joe Brown, do I have another thing to share with you? All of the people that played the characters in the movies are voicing from what I can see, are voicing the characters in the shows.
Really? Interesting.
So we got Josh Brolin, Thanos. We've got Michael.
It didn't sound like Robert Downey Jr. on Iron Man.
Well, sadly he's not on this list.
Okay.
We got Michael Douglas as Ant-Man, and we got Paul Rudd as Ant-Man.
Nice.
So we're gonna have 2 different Ant-Mans. We got Jeff Goldblum back as the Grand Master, which I'm excited about. Chris Hemsworth is playing Thor. Tom Hiddleston is playing Loki.
Yep.
Samuel Jackson back as Nick Fury. I wasn't sure if that was him for a minute. Michael B. Jordan coming back as Killmonger. Natalie Portman as Jane Foster. Pretty much everybody's coming back from what this list shows.
That's pretty cool. So it's gonna. That means it's essentially like a canon, non-canon story, right? Because it's the alternate world, but it's got like the same actors playing the roles, so it's like
Yeah,
that's cool.
definitely.
That's cool, man.
Like, I don't know if you know much about the Watcher, because he's the main narrator of the whole show. It looks like.
No, I don't know.
Um, well, the Watcher is essentially the person who watches over the multiverses and he can't. Like it says it in the trailer. He watches, he sees, he can see everything, but he can't interfere with anything.
Right.
So he is just like this being that sees everything that happens over across all multiverses. So he just watches everything. Hence his name, the Watcher. Uh, but yeah, I'm excited. Joe Brown sounds like he's excited.
It
Maybe
does.
we're
It
getting.
does look pretty. I'm gonna be honest, Joe. When you started playing the trailer, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just concede to Joe. I'll watch it with him to make him happy, like because I was like, I had no interest in watching the show, to be perfectly honest. But then after watching the trailer,
Sure.
the two trailers, the one from December and then the one that just came out the other day, I was like, maybe I will give it a shot.
Yeah, it was very funny. You're like, yeah, okay, we can watch it. And by the end of the thing, Joe Brown is just like, this is so cool.
Yeah, it got me. Hook, line, and sinker. What can I say, Joe?
The animation style looks really cool because it's kind of like that comic book esque type of shading
Mm-hmm.
that they have across it. It looks fun. Like I think another
I
really
did like the 2 frames of Spider-Man where I was like, oh, Spider-Man. Like, and
yeah
that was it. That was literally
they,
it.
gi- they give you a taste.
Yeah.
Oh, I do like how who's the kid who plays Spider-Man right now?
Tom Holland.
I do like how Tom Holland isn't on this list, but I think they haven't given him the script yet, so he can't even see it. So he doesn't give it away.
Yeah, right. He doesn't tell
Yeah,
anyone what happened.
doesn't tell anybody what's going on.
He must be like the best like actor of all time because like they probably don't even give him a script of like whatever day they're recording at the during the movie until he gets on set too. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, on this day you're gonna tell MJ that you're Spider-Man, and like he had no prep before that. But he had 5 minutes to memorize his lines, and then he just crushed the scene. That's what I imagine.
From what I've heard, they actually only give him his line. They don't give him anything else. They just give him his lines,
That's
so he
so
just
funny.
knows what to say. I think it's really funny. It's like you ever see like him, Tom Holland and Tom Hiddleston doing like interviews together?
Yeah.
You have where Tom Hiddleston has stopped Tom Holland from saying stuff,
Talking. Yeah.
from
I saw
talking.
that, yeah.
It's also hilarious how Tom Holland didn't know the end of the second Spider-Man movie, but Tom Hiddleston knew from the first Avengers movie that Loki was going to be killed in Endgame. Like he knew.
Yeah.
They told him so he could prepare for it.
That's so funny. I mean, I'm gonna be real. If I was Spider-Man, I'd be telling everybody too. I'd be too excited to keep that information to myself about the
Well, there was
storylines and everything.
oh sure, Joe Brown.
I'd tell,
But there was also
I'd tell
the
my mom. I would tell you. I would tell
yeah.
the guy at 7-Eleven. I'd tell everybody.
Yeah, but you also wouldn't be live streaming yourself on Twitch, opening a package from the studio, and the what is it what is the poster that they put up at movie theaters? I can't remember now.
Like the IMAX one?
Well, like just like the movie trailer poster that they're gonna hang up places for like on billboards and stuff that no one has seen yet falls out, and you open it backwards to only show the camera when you're not even supposed to be showing anybody.
I love it.
It was
Tom Holland. That's my sweet summer child.
he is amazing. He's a great boy.
And Marvel What If comes out August 11th or
11th.
something like that, right? So
August 11th.
that's not too far away either. I know. I'm more excited about the League of Legends anime coming out on Netflix in I think it's October, I want to say. Like that one looks incredibly hype and I'm super excited for it, but maybe I'll give Marvel's What If a chance.
You should give it a chance. We also have the new Resident Evil series
It's coming
coming
to
out
Netflix,
today.
right?
Today it dropped.
Okay, so we could talk about that next time then, because I was going to text you. I was like, do I need prior information? The only thing I know in Resident Evil is I have a crush on Jill Valentine, but besides that, I don't know any of the 8-game storylines.
It does. I don't think this is gonna. This is primarily I believe, a Claire Redfield and Leon Kennedy story.
So can I go in blind or like?
I'm trying to look for you, Joe Brown.
I know some general things from when you talked about the RE2 remake on our
Years
Oh my
after the
god.
horrors of Raccoon City, Leanne and Claire find themselves consumed by a dark conspiracy when a viral attack ravages the White House. So it's going to take place after 4, from what I believe. Because
Okay.
in 4, Leon is working for the president to find his daughter. So if if anything, Joe Brown, we can have a sit down and talk about it so we can get you caught up. But I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Loki coming on again next week. I need to finish this last episode. I'm excited about the what
Oh, and
ifs. I'm
then
excited about Deathloop. I'm excited about Pokemon. I also bought a Pokemon Ball replica that I'm excited about.
you are very excited. You showed me that. You sent me a photo. I was proud of you.
Thank you.
What are you
You
gonna catch with that Pokeball replica? What are you gonna throw it at in real life?
My cat Milo. I'm gonna catch her sitting in my lap right now.
There you go. You know they won't
Oh,
run away. So that's a good
yeah,
point.
there you
The
go.
other one, the other big like animated movie thing is like unless I had the weirdest fever dream of my life, Joe, and this thing isn't real, but I think it is the fourth Evangelion movie is coming out soon. Like I think I saw a trailer the other day on like Twitter or something. Unless I'm just completely fabricating it, I feel like the Evangelion movie is coming out, which I'm very excited for, obviously. So there's a lot of good animated content coming out over the summer for us to enjoy.
Heck, yes.
So that's going to wrap it up for most of our discussion here. But we just have one quick little topic at the end, Joe, and that is currently, as of recording, Summer Games Done Quick is going on, which for those unfamiliar is an online week-long live event on Twitch where they speed run a multitude of different video games, and while you're watching the speed run, you can give donations and help the charities that they're supporting, which is I believe for the summer's Doctors Without Borders, but I could have it flipped. I know one is for cancer and one is Doctors Without Borders. I believe summer's doctor. I apologize if I have the wrong flip. As of recording right now, we got Pokemon Black and White that's going on, and that's always going to be a banger because Pulse Effects. Like I watch a lot of Pokemon speedruns, and Pulse Effects is a great speedrunner. And then like there's also Pokemon Emerald and stuff coming on later this weekend with Friday and Saturday. So if you look at the Summer Games Done Quick schedule, Joe, is there anything on either Friday or Saturday that you're excited to watch the speed run for?
I might check out the Breath of the Wild speedrun. Oh my god, I missed the Dead Space speedrun last night. Crap. I just saw it when I looked at oh wait, no, it was Wednesdays. No! Wait, that was yesterday.
Well,
Anyway,
you are struggling right now, Joe.
I am struggling. I am struggling. There was one that I saw. It was Breath of the Wild, and there was another one that I saw that I'm looking at. Right.
You're gonna find it.
I'm gonna find it. Saw
Is
it.
it Half Life?
No.
Is it Fire Emblem Three Houses? Because that one's gonna be
Oh,
fun.
that one's yours.
Because for that one, they actually have a house bid war. So I don't know if you know how that game works, Joe, but there's the three houses, of the three main lords for the game, like red, blue, and yellow, and you can actually donate to vote like, oh, I want Edelgard's house, or I want like Dimitri's house to be the run. So the speedrunner actually has to be prepared for all three speedruns depending on which house the audience
oh wow.
donates for him to do for them.
Wow.
So that's gonna be a pretty fun one.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Did you find the one you were looking for yet?
No.
I was trying to fill time for you.
Nah, I think it was on a different day, and I realized that I couldn't watch it because it was on a previous day. It's probably just the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's probably about it.
Okay.
None of the other ones tomorrow look very enticing. Maybe I'll watch Contrast. No, that's at 4 a.m. Never mind. Not gonna do that.
Why not? Just wake up, set an alarm.
Joe Brown, I have to wake up at 6 to go to work.
I forget. Hold on, let me scroll up because I texted my friend Tommy. What day was? Oh, I texted and said you better be up bright and early, 6:39 a.m. I think it was at like 7:10 or something, and it went earlier. So let's say 7 a.m. And he was like, "Why?" And it said Yoshi's story on the N64, any percent in Japanese.
Oh man.
It's only like I guess 7-minute run or something like that.
What?
Yeah, I don't don't know. That's just awesome. The time designated was 15 minutes for it, and it says it finished in 7 minutes and 24 seconds. So, but for me, some of the ones that are upcoming, so Friday and Saturday, for that I'm excited for are, of course, the Pokemon Emerald, because that's like a really good speed run. A lot of the earlier generation Pokemon games are, in my opinion, better than the later games. But what do we got? Sonic the Hedgehog CD sounds exciting. Sonic Heroes, I was jamming out to Sonic Heroes. Breath of the Wild, of course, which is like one of the best speedrun games like out there. It's so much fun to watch. Fire Emblem Three Houses, and then on Saturdays usually where the heavy hitters are. Like that's the main day where most of the donations happen. Like so, as of recording, they're at $900,000 raised, right, for Doctors Without Borders. But by the end of Saturday night, they'll be at like $2.5 million. So Friday and Saturday are really where they get the bulk of the donations. So that's why they put like the prime games there. So like we have Pokemon Emerald, Super Meat Boy Forever, Super Metroid, which obviously I always watch. It's like a tradition to be at GDQ every time. So Super Metroid has 100% race this time around on Saturday. And then we're ending it with the one and only, the best game of all time, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Critical Mode, any percent on the PS4. What a way to go out.
What a way to end it. I can't believe they're going to beat it in under 4 hours.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you can skip all the cutscenes, right?
That's fair.
I will say, though, Spike Vegeta, who's a speedrunner, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He does a lot of Games Done Quick content.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
He's got like big hair and stuff. He speedruns a lot of games, and he also does some Kingdom Hearts stuff. Like he does Donkey Kong, Kingdom Hearts, like Mario, Zelda, everything. He had a sub goal incentive on Twitch for him to play, like, because he speedran regular Kingdom Hearts 2, and it would take him, let's say, 3.5 hours or something like that. But the sub incentive was for him to do Kingdom Hearts 2 cutscene percent, where he wasn't allowed to skip through the cutscenes. And what took his 3.5 hour run turned into, I think it was a 16-hour run. It was like something ridiculous. And if he died, right? If he died in a boss battle or something, like he couldn't skip the cutscene that he had to play again right before the boss battle. So you had to watch the cutscene again. Like, so it was just like super punishing. I remember watching that whole stream, just dying. God. And the best part was he didn't just have like a timer up, right? He didn't just have like a timer running from start to finish and you saw how long it was. He ran the cutscene percent against his regular any percent splits, like his time splits. So like, oh my god, so if he's going through like the Lion King world or something and like he finishes that world and he hits cut on that split, he's like 7 hours behind his split. It was one of the funniest like streams I ever watched, honestly. That has to be so painful. He was like, I forget what it was. He was like, if I ever do this sub going, it's going to have to be a long time before we do this again because I am not sitting through all of these cutscenes.
Amazing. That is amazing.
All right, Joe, that's enough out of us this week. Why don't you take us home?
Thanks, everybody, for joining us for another episode of Cup of Joe's. I have been your host, Joe Perrion, joined by me by my best friend, Joseph Brown, and we'll catch you next time on another episode of Cup of Joe.